Hello and welcome. This is Amara Media Corporation. Right, we are celebrating Eid-ul-Fitr. Eid-ul-Fitr is a joyous holiday celebration right after the sacred month of Ramadan. And Ramadan is one of the five pillars of Islam. And Muslims throughout the world have been fasting in the day and worshipping Allah during the night, either in seclusion or in a big gathering, is in the mosque or in the home. And we are celebrating Eid al-Fitr. Eid Mubarak to you all. I am Brahanu Ismail, and I have a special guest via Skype from Waldia, whose name is Ustaz Abdullah Muhammed. He will be explaining us his views and ideas regarding the month of Ramadan and the celebration of Eid al-Fitr. Stay tuned. Okay, Ustaz, would you introduce us yourself, please?
Okay, first I'd like to thank for inviting me to say something about Eid al-Fitr and the fasting of Ramadan. So I am Ustaz Abdullah Muhammed. I am the representative of Da'wah and Education in Waldia, City Administration Islamic Affairs.
Okay, thank you. How was Ramadan, the fasting and the prayers from your side?
We enjoyed too much because the weather was very cold, so no thirsty, no just hunger. So we enjoyed very much. So it was nice, I can say.
Why Ramadan is considered as sacred? What makes Ramadan a holy month?
Okay, yeah. As you know, Ramadan is one of the pillars of Islam. Islam will have 5 pillars. The first one is just to be a witness that there is no God except Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. It is taken as one pillar. The second one is praying, salah. The third, just giving zakah. The fourth one will be fasting the month of Ramadan. The last one will be making pilgrimage and visiting the house of Allah in Mecca. So in these 5 pillars, we get at the 4th rank the fasting of Ramadan. So it can be taken as the holy month because of many things. The first one, in this month, the Holy Quran revealed by Allah. Holy Quran is taken as a holy book. So for respect of this month, Allah revealed the whole Quran in this month. So it can be taken as a holy month. The second thing that makes the holy month of Ramadan holy, Allah says this: every deed of Muslims can be rewarded in the day of judgment. I think the reward is unknown, by the way. The reward is unknown, which is done in this month of Ramadan. But other than this month of Ramadan, every good deed can be multiplied by 10 and 700 and more than that. It is, by the way, it's clearly known. Simply Allah says, I will just give you the reward in the day of judgment. That makes it holy, because Ramadan is the 9th month of in Islamic calendar. There are 12 months. It is the 9th. So it is good deeds are different from the other 11 months. The other part, maybe the gates of hell will be closed for the respect of this month. All gates of hell will be closed. All gates of paradise will be opened. Then the devil, as you know, which misleads human being, will be chained for a month. So everyone can enjoy without any problem. You can recite Quran, you can pray, you can do good deeds, you can give charity for people who are in need without any problem, since everything is suitable, which that Allah makes everything suitable and easy. So Ramadan can be taken as sacred or holy month for these reasons. As I mentioned before, The first thing is Quran revealed in this month. The second one, gates of hell will be closed, gates of paradise will be opened, and devil will be chained. The other one, the deeds of every good deed cannot be known its reward except the day of judgment. So by this, Ramadan will be holy months. It can be taken as holy months.
What are the activities that Muslims perform during Ramadan only that they miss in other months of the year?
Yeah. Okay, all Muslims, by the way, are required to do many things in the months of Ramadan. One of the basic things that all Muslims should do is reciting Quran, reciting the holy book of Allah. So every Muslim is expected to recite Quran day in, day out, throughout the day and at night also. It is a very basic part of good deed which can be done in the months of Ramadan. This second one, giving charity to people who are in need. By the way, nowadays there are so many people who are in need, so they need what? Some charity. So Muslims should give any form of charity in order to help them. This is very basic part of the very basic part that can be taken as a good thing. The other one, offering prayers. The prayer may be mandatory and optional. So people may spend their time by praying Allah, which are mandatory and optional prayers. The other one, people go to mosque, especially at night. At night there is a special worshipping, which can be known as Tarawih. So people go to mosque and spend their time up to 4 o'clock our local time. Then they'll be back to home. Then they spend also the night by glorifying Allah and just reciting Quran and praying, etc. The other one, there is a special day, especially at the end of Ramadan. There are 10 days. The last 10 days can be taken, they can be given a big emphasis for worshipping Allah. The last 10 days, there are so many things that can be done. The first one is i'tikaf, just secularization. The prayer should stay at mosque, just by intending simply in order to get reward, everyone should stay at mosque throughout the 10 days. Then they pray, they're reciting Quran, praying, they invoke Allah, they seek any kind of things that comes from Allah. So this is known as i'tikaf. They are not allowed to go out of the mosque without any reasons, because they submitted themselves to get reward from Allah by staying day in, day out, at night and at day also. So this is very important. The other part, at the end of Ramadan, there is a charity which is given to poor people. By the way, it can be given in the form of grains like wheat, barley, teff, and so on. Sometimes you may give also flour. In every Muslim is expected to give, for instance, in the form of grain. They have their own measurement. For instance, 2.5 kilograms in every Muslim can give to poor people who are in need. Then such kind of activities are especially done during Ramadan. These are very basic parts we can take.
Thank you, Ustaz. The days of festivals is not predetermined in Islam. For example, the beginning of Ramadan and its end is not predetermined. And why it's so? Can the Hijri calendar answer this dilemma?
Okay. Yeah, as you know, in Islam, just we follow lunar calendar. It is different from solar calendar. So we are allowed, according to our Prophet, he allowed us to just look to see the moon. Just moon can be taken as a sign for our calendar. So it cannot be predetermined. Just we can not say today begins Ramadan, today finishes ends Ramadan. We cannot say unless we see the crescent moon, especially the new moon, should be seen by people, especially by it may be naked eye or simply by using telescopes. So this moon will have two features. One is sometimes 29, then the second month will begin 1. Simply there is such kind of situation. Another time full months, it will be full month 30, then 1. So unless you see the crescent moon, we cannot say today begins, tomorrow ends. So it is our Sharia or Islamic rule. So we cannot predetermine by ourselves unless we look the movement of or the changes of crescent moon and others. A hadith which is said by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam: when you see the new moon, begin Ramadan. When you see the new moon, finish your Ramadan. So our doctrine is like this. That's why still there is no predetermination.
What is the core part of the celebration of the Eid? Is that the Eid Salat? Is that the Celebrate Eid-ul-Fitr or the charity that has to be given for poor people? What makes it? What's the core of the celebration of Eid al-Fitr? And what Islam says about the rulings and the guidelines of the celebration?
Yeah, at the end of Ramadan, I think the very important thing is celebrating Eid al-Fitr. Just if everyone completed the fasting of months of Ramadan, then he or she expresses their happiness during that day. So according to Quran and Sunnah Hadith, we are allowed to celebrate Eid al-Fitr first by going to open field. Everyone gathers there and glorify Allah by saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest, Allah is the greatest, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Walillah alhamdu, to express their gratitude to Allah because they could finish their fasting. It's a kind of happiness. By the way, when they go out to that place in order to pray, they are expected to wear the best clothes. They use perfume, especially males, they use perfume. Then they go on foot by saying such kind of glorify by Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, La ilaha illallah, there is no God to be worshipped except Allah, La ilaha illallah, Allah Akbar, Walillah alhamdu, praise be to Allah. Such kind of dhikr or remembrance of Allah is repeatedly said by all Muslims to show their happiness. Then they exchange greetings, they exchange wishes. One person says Eid Mubarak, happy Eid, they say. The other person may say Taqabbal Allah minna wa minkum, Allah may accept our good deeds, because we spent our time by doing different good deeds. We may not know whether our deeds are accepted or not, so we wish so that Allah may accept our good deeds. Taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum salih al-amal. Finally, by the way, before completed this celebration, as you mentioned before, there is a Zakat al-Fitr or Sadaqat al-Fitr, which is given to people who are in need. So everyone should give, for instance, if it is flour, 2.5 kilogram in each person should be paid to that person, because the reason is when a person feels happy, the others also should just react like them. When I am happy, my neighbor is sad, that's not a celebration. So basically, this is very important part. Everyone, even we go around and check our neighbors, we exchange greetings and good wishes, and we even make a kind of charity in the form of money, or just you send food, cultural food or meat to neighbors, because neighbors should be given a big emphasis, our religion. So such kind of activities can be done during that day. That's very important day because it is at the end of fasting Ramadan. So these are some parts of celebration.
Okay. Muslims throughout the world are celebrating Eid al-Fitr with unique and special festivities and different activities. But are there special features celebrating Eid al-Fitr in Ethiopia? Is there some unique feature regarding the celebration of Eid al-Fitr in Ethiopia?
Yeah, I think especially Ethiopia is unique when it is compared to other countries because there are so many, more than 80 nationalities in Ethiopia. So in some places like Addis, for instance, you may find such people celebrating together. So in our religion, one person is not better than the other unless our measurement, Allah's measurement is taqwa or the fearing of Allah. So whether the person is Amara, whether the person is Tigray, comes from Tigray or from Sidama or from any other people, all are equal. But their dignity simply depends on their fearing of Allah. So these people gather together in one place and they celebrate together without any problem. Even you see different wearing styles with their culture. So it is, by the way, unique. It makes Ethiopia different from other countries.
Okay, the social activity in Ethiopia invites us to celebrate Eid al-Fitr and other festivities together with non-Muslims. What are the teachings of Islam?
Yeah, just the doctrine of Islam, by the way, justice is very important. Justice, whether the person is Muslim or non-Muslim, I think all should be treated equally. So during celebrating Eid al-Fitr, just according to Prophet Muhammad put one hadith or his speech regarding to neighboring. Our neighbor may be Muslim or non-Muslim, but if the person is a Muslim, one right is given according to our religion. One right. You should check that person by anything. For instance, by providing clothing, by providing food, by just make him enjoy with you. It's open, by the way, open, because no need of just ignoring others during that day. Everyone should be treated equally, whether the person is Muslim or not. No problem. That is, by the way, in our religion, Prophet Muhammad was living with Jews. Jews were living in Medina. So they were just even in trading market, they were doing together. They buy and sell each other to show that our religion doesn't affect to continue relationship with others. Especially in our country, almost just we are living together, Muslims and Christians together. Even beside, next to you, you may be Christian, next to you, you may be Muslims. So according to Islam, justice should be kept. Whether the person is Muslim or not, no problem. So during celebration, we check our environment, our surroundings. So especially if the people are in need, we give a special treatment to them because our happiness should be shared to others also. So in our country, such kind of culture is still continuing, no problem still now. So we'll continue also as usual in the upcoming holiday also.
The culture of tolerance and love between and among different religious followers is quite amazing here in Ethiopia. And do you think Ethiopia teaches such important lesson for other parts of the world?
In Ethiopia, there are more than 80 nationalities. So this shows tolerance. Even the same ethnic groups may not live together, as you look at in African countries or others. there is a conflict. There is what killing each other. But in Ethiopia, even if there are more than 80 ethnic groups, still they are living together. One respects the other. They respect each other. They respect one another. So it is tolerance, by the way. Some people celebrate their holiday even in avenue, in main roads without any problem. The others are just looking that. One doesn't attack the others. Simply everyone do smoothly. So tolerance and patience can be taken as a symbol to other people because we are living together without any problem.
Okay, Ethiopians currently are in unstable condition, and how Muslims should work to bring peace in their country, and what Islam teaches or preaches about peace.
Yeah, stability is very important, by the way. Without peace, nothing can be done. By the way, in Ethiopia, there is some instability, we know. So in order to make our country stable, especially religious leaders should do many things. They are expected to do more things because they are responsible people. Every person should listen to them. They are respectful. They are respected persons. So leaders should just make discussion how to solve the problems, especially both religions and others also, Christian and Muslim leaders should make discussion together, and if something happens, they immediately should give solutions. So these are key persons. But the problem may be regarding to preachers. Preachers should be careful, by the way. When we preach to people, things should be taken into account. Sometimes if I preach based on my feeling, there may be some problem. We should teach based on our doctrine. For instance, I'm Muslim, I'm a preacher. I should teach what Islam says. Simply, I shouldn't follow my feeling. I shouldn't teach my own belief. The others like that. If all teach the religion doctrine, no problem still. I think things may not be in such a way, but our problem is preachers are teaching based on their feeling, based on their belief. So especially scholars, all scholars, Islamic scholars and Christian scholars should make discussion all the time and check their environment, what's happening. So then if something happens, they immediately solve it. So the big emphasis, a big responsibility is given to all religion scholars and leaders. By the way, the word Islam by itself means peace. Allah will have 99 names. Among those names, one of its name is peace. To show that peace is very important. Even after prayer, after you pray, it may be, there are 5 prayers, by the way, a day. When after you completed praying, the first thing that you invoke to Allah is peace. Allahumma anta salam minka salam. Allah, you are peace. Peace comes from you. Just to say like such kind of invocation to show that peace is very important. So everyone is expected to spread peace in the country and out of country. So peace is very important. Let me remind you, there is one verse in Quran. If a person kills one person, it is taken as if he killed all souls in the world. How much it is serious. So peace is very important, and it is given a big emphasis in our religion. So we should keep it, by the way. We should keep it as we are learned.
Finally, I would like to invite you to extend your best wishes for your beloved ones.
I think the upcoming celebration, Eid-ul-Fitr, should be celebrated in a peaceful way by just simply doing our doctrine, by following what Islam says. Everything should be based on the religion, what the religion says, what Quran and Sunnah says. Then we shouldn't forget people who are in need, especially. By the way, nowadays there are some people, especially who are displaced people. They are displaced from their village. Some come from, I think in Ethiopia there was conflict. Then in some places we get such kind of people. So everyone should visit them, because we are in our home without any problem. But they are displaced. They lost their families and so on, and the properties. So by visiting them and making a good wish, and by providing food and clothing, we can share our happiness to them. This is my message. So I wish to have a good Eid al-Fitr to all Muslims in the world in general, and to Ethiopian Muslims in particular.
Ustaz, thank you very much for your time and for your ideas and views on the light of Islam regarding Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr. Eid Mubarak again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.